Okay. Well, I see yellow.
Oh, sorry.
That's for you, because you're like a ray of sunshine.
That's right. Golden.
All right. Eric Hoffer, an American writer, once said, "What monstrosities would walk the streets for some people's faces as unfinished as their minds?" Good afternoon. My name is Isabella Rios, and I am a 9th grader here at Da Vinci Science High School. This quote you just heard, it's not up on the board, but this quote you just heard is one of my favorites because, although quite morbid, it touches upon a sort of goal of mine, to have a mind that I'm proud of. Not just one that knows, but one that understands. Although the development of the mind is a lifelong endeavor, I'm confident that my schooling here at Da Vinci will assist me well in reaching this goal. In fact, I'm about to show you a bit of proof, what I learned in my first year and why I should move on to the next grade. My speaker and Q projects in engineering and my preterite test in Spanish clearly demonstrate that I've attained sufficient mastery in order to advance in my education. The significance of this lies in the fact that a meaningful education coupled with the genuine effort of the student brings about a sound and solid mind. First and foremost, I will be presenting the engineer's design process that we learned about in Project Lead the Way. Now, the first step of the design process is to define a problem. When a company contacts its engineers, it gives the engineers a problem. The engineers learn everything that they can about this problem. That's what the first step entails. An example of this is in my Cube project, where we learned where the company that we work for, Da Vinci Furniture, gave us a problem that they needed something that would make use of their surplus wood blocks. And so we learned everything we could about these blocks. We asked ourselves the questions, why is this a problem? What can we do to stop this? We learned about the sizes and the properties of these blocks in our application of the first step. The second step of the design process is to brainstorm. Here, everything we have sitting inside our heads we pour out onto paper. More often than not, this is done in a group, where the engineers can present any ideas that they have without worrying about the quality and practicality of their methods. As Mr. Prez puts it oh so eloquently, and I know we've said it 1,000 times before,
I'd love to hear it.
But this can also be called mental diarrhea. Everything goes here. In my cube project, I created 3 different cube combinations that I thought were viable possibilities to use in my project. Each of these combinations had its own pros and cons, and each fit the constraints. The third step of the design process is to research and generate ideas. This is the field work. An engineer goes out and performs experiments, analyzes similar products, and researches possible model ideas. We find out what's already out there, we take notes, we ask possible consumers, and we figure out what we all want from this problem and what we don't want. In my speaker project, long before I created the speaker itself, I went on the Google, and I researched possible cube designs, and I took notes on their dimensions, what I liked, and what qualities I liked about each of these, and what dimensions they shared, what things they all had in common. And this way, when I made my speaker, I could combine features from all these speakers into the ultimate, most awesome speaker. The fourth step of the design process is to identify criteria and specify constraints. Whereas the other steps are all about what we can do, this step is all about what we can't do, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Obviously, if you're designing a car, you can't design a car that costs the entire debt of the United States to manufacture, which, might I add, is about $15 trillion. There are limits. The company not only has a budget, but the company has a pretty good idea of what they want to, how big their product is going to be, who it's going to be sold to, what it's going to accomplish. In my cube project, our cubes had to be made from a certain amount of cubes, have a certain amount of pieces, and be a certain size. While constraints do limit possibilities, in no way do they limit development in the design process. The fifth step of the design process is to select an approach. Now that we have all these ideas on the table, we can choose the one that fits the best, our criteria the best. The approach must fit the constraints, fit the company's criteria, and have the least amount of negative attributes. I chose the cube combination that fit together the best and also looked the prettiest and was easiest to put together. At this point, we are pretty much able to discard all other possibilities that we have. The sixth step of the design process is to develop a design proposal. This is the finalization of our design. It's as close as we get to the final product without building a prototype. Here you can see that I drew multi-views, sketches, and finally a computerized assembly, that's very quick, but a computerized assembly of my cube design. The seventh and final step of the design process is to make a model or prototype. Now, this is a pretty straightforward step. A tangible model of your design is created. This model must be fully functional to allow for testing if necessary. As you can see, I glued together wooden cubes for my cube project, and I had them painted by the lovely Ms. Prez. And I put them together, and here I have my final product, which is the cube. The design process is a lengthy one, but the final product, as you can see, is well worth it. At this point, my cube would be good to go for manufacturing, but it wasn't a real engineering thing, so it wasn't. Ahora les voy a hablar de mi maestría en español. Voy a usar habilidad esencial número 2. Puedo usar mecánicas de lenguaje apropiadas, incluyendo acuerdo entre verbo y sujeto, puntuación, acentuación y comparativos. Durante esta lección, aprendí las reglas básicas de los verbos de pretéritos, específicamente los verbos de chorizo y los verbos terminando en car, gar y zar. Los verbos de chorizo son muy iguales a verbos regulares, pero las conjugaciones él, usted y ellos, ustedes son diferentes. En estas conjugaciones, la E se cambia a una I, y en el caso de las palabras dormir y morir, la O se cambia a una U. Cuando estos verbos se enseñan en una tabla de conjugación, la forma de un chorizo puede ser formada en un círculo alrededor de las conjugaciones que se cambian. También aprendí de los verbos irregulares de car, gar y zar. Estos verbos tienen conjugación regular con la excepción de la conjugación de yo. Cuando usado con yo, un verbo de car en un verbo de car, o se cambia a QU, en el verbo de gar, la G cambia a GU, y en el verbo de zar, la Z cambia a C. Todo esto para preservar el sonido de las palabras. Tomé un examen en el internet para probar mi conocimiento de estos verbos. La primera vez no estudié y recibí un 80% en el examen. Pueden ver que hice 2 errores. La conjugación de dormir y pagar. Para dormir, escribí dormió. La conjugación es correcta, pero no presta la atención a la regla. La regla dice que dormir, cuando usado con él, usted y ellos, ustedes, la O se cambia a una U. Y también erré la palabra pagar. En pagar es un verbo de gar y escribí pagué. La conjugación es correcta, pero no presta la atención a la regla. Pagar es un verbo de gar y la G en gar, en el verbo de gar, cuando usado con yo, la G se cambia a GU. Entonces, no. Así, la palabra es la correcta sentence. Oración es yo pagué el señor de Domino's. Aquí pueden ver que yo fui desde recibir un 80% en los verbos de cargarizar y chorizo a recibir 100% en el mismo examen. Yo creo que estos porcientos combinado con el trabajo que hice en el Podable, son ejemplos perfectos de mi maestría en habilidad esencial número 2. I will now speak of my academic reflection and how I believe I've grown as both a student and as a person this semester. So the habit mind that I believe I have improved on has to be evidence this year. Before Da Vinci, I did my work, I turned it in, and then I forgot about it. Here at Da Vinci, when I do my projects, I keep in mind, is this going to show the teacher that I really know what I'm talking about? When I receive a grade that I am unsatisfied with, I revise my work, make sure that it has the evidence that is necessary to prove my mastery, and I submit it again and to receive the grade that I feel I should achieve. This is especially evident in my POL because now I know what is best to present and what is not best to present. The habit of mind that I believe I should improve on is community. I'm not very active in advisory or CD or sports or clubs or anything here, and while some of this can be blamed on my restrictive school-home schedule, but really it's just a product of my unwillingness to do anything. I don't really want to do anything. But now I know that the effect and value that my high school years have on my life, and I know that they're very important and I don't want to take any of these years for granted. So next year, I definitely want to be more active. I want to join like a club or two after school and definitely step out of my comfort zone during school activities and CD. As far as 21st century skills go, I believe I have grown immensely in use of technology, especially in engineering. When I look at how I was at the beginning of the year with Autodesk Inventor, and I look at how I am now, I'm amazed at how much I've grown. Of course, I'm no Mr. Perez, but I believe I'm well on my way to being there. Watch out.
I am
The technology that I use in my day-to-day and at school has advanced, and I'm proud to say that my skills are advancing along with it. The 21st century skill that I wish to focus on improving next semester is initiative. I always do what's required of me, but I never do any more than that. You know, I watch students who get all-star awards, and the students are always people who they go above and beyond in their classes. And this is not to mention that students who take initiative in their communities and their courses are the ones prioritized by not only good universities, but prestigious ones as well. My father, during student-led conferences, he pushed me to get 5s instead of the 4s that I was already receiving, and this was an idea that I dismissed as ridiculous and overrated. But I now see the importance of the statement. You know, I know that it is always best to do more than what is expected, to be greater than I was before, and to take initiative in every area of my life, not just my academic one. What monstrosities would walk the streets for some people's faces as unfinished as their minds? I love this quote. It embodies something I strive for, something I live for. Everything I do, everything I study, everything boils down to this. I want nothing more than to have a mind that I'm proud of. Not one that just knows, but one that understands. I want to have a mind that I'm proud of. To have a mind that others are proud of. To have a mind that my schools, my parents, my teachers, and my peers are proud of. My name is Isabella Rios. I'm going to be in the 10th grade this fall. Thank you for listening to my presentation of learning.
All of the size characters, I'm at a loss for words.
Isabella.
Amazing.
You really have
I was in speech and debate, so.
Yeah, you need to find you something here.
I'd like to read you some comments that were discussed while you were presenting. This is Steve. Wow, I would like some seniors to see this. Mr. Prince, she rocks. Steve, I-L-O-V-E, the academic language. She sounds like an engineer already. Fred, she's going places.
I've heard about this one.
I'm just really thirsty.
What's up?
I'm just really thirsty.
That, yeah, you explained what we asked you to explain, like you always do. I think you sold yourself short a little bit with some of the stuff you were saying on your reflection. You do. You always go like that.
We look forward to even more.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't sell yourself short. You're amazing.
You're awesome. You're really amazing.
Well, I have to just say that I have to improve it sometimes.
Because you did such a good job.
Maybe humility.
I will, I might let you go fishing with me and your dad.
No thanks.
Beautiful job.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure, Isabella.
Yes.
You're a sophomore teacher.
Yeah. We're going to let you maybe just skip sophomore year.
Or hold her back.
Yes, that might be even better than or not.
Nice job.
Thank you very much. Awesome.
Does anyone want to use like this thing?
For-
Next? Yeah, I'll just leave it here. Then.
That would be helpful.
It's pretty straightforward. It's just buttons.
Yeah, I think Steve took your camera so that you can download it.
It's on there.
That was it? Okay. Well, I would like to get it at some point to download it.
Maybe.
All right. I'll do that.
Some here.